Chapter 1, Day 2. While trying to save, I accidentally clicked forward. Midori was right. There's no way Eiji would say yes to a let's bring back a dead person party. But I still need to learn as much as I can. Perhaps there's an even more important reason why Eiji still won't leave this place. I wonder if I can make him a compelling case, and he'll just do it on his own. Might as well see what I can dig up. So, try to remember what all has changed. Wonder how long it'll take Sanctus to turn the sunken junk into a trusty GPA hunting blade or two. There's something wrong with this photo. Is the man really dressed for the right occasion? It's a recruitment poster. Iron Will. Wonder how they're doing. Welcome to the Empyrean, Tokyo's little piece of paradise. Huh? You stopped dead in his tracks. A dumbfounded look filled his face. A girl about his age wearing an unusually frilly dress. Who is she? Why was she talking to him? She turned to him, smiled, and flicked her wrist. Is this your first time here, Master? What? I mean, it's not my first time here, and I am definitely not your master. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't recognize you. You must have arrived when I was running an errand. Master? She is so strange. I guess she calls all her customers Master. You know everyone here? Yes, Master. I don't know all the names, but I know all the faces. I guess just calling everyone Master helps, huh? You're funny, Master. May I know your name then, Master? Call me you. Just you. Okay, you. Hey, you. Sounds kind of rude. I think I'll just stick with Master. Her unusual dress weirded out you. Okay, whatever, suit yourself. What should I call you? My name is Ayame, but you can call me Aya, Master. At least your name is simple enough. Can't say the same about the dress. Do you like it, Master? Well, it's not the best dress if you had to run from bandits. You'll probably trip on it or get stuck somewhere. You're not from around here, Master. Akihabara's been bandit-free for a while now. I figured. You can't have free-flowing booze and not attract thugs who'll murder for a pint. Yep, so frilly dresses are okay now, right? It's eye-catching, that's for sure. Very fluffy. Why, thank you, Master. Since you've been so nice, do you want to hear a secret, Master? Sure. Eiji may be hard as a rock, but he does seem to like these cutesy stuff. Did he choose that dress for you? He was the one who decided I should wear one. Can you imagine Eiji pick a cute dress and make someone wear it? No, I actually can't imagine. I guess we got our own little quirks. Quirks? Oh, please don't get me wrong, I like this dress idea. There's a reason I wear this costume. Besides, it's actually an outfit that was fashionable in pre-war Akihabara. It's not because of Eiji's strange tastes. His tastes have got nothing to do with this. He just thought the outfit would cheer up the customers, you know? That sounds like Eiji, always think about other people. He must care for his customers a lot, huh? Yes. Alright, fine, I believe you. Can I pass now? Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize I was holding you up. Don't mention it. Please enjoy yourself, Master. I prefer being called by my name, thank you. Of course. Right this way, Master. Did she even hear what I said? Looks like I have no choice but to put up with this Master silliness. Whatever. I gotta look around and see if there's anything here that could change Eiji's mind. So now we have Ayame's profile. Mind if I sit? If it's empty, ain't nothing gonna stop you. Nice evening, huh? Any day you don't grow a third arm is a good day. Can't argue with that. Hey, can I ask you something? Over my dead body, punk. You ain't indoctrinating me or some rubbish. Settle down, Nobu, you drunk bastard. Kid, what's your angle? My buddy here is a bit on edge, as you can tell. If If you pull that Sanctus hogwash on us, he might pull out a can of whoop-ass on you. I'm not Sanctus. My name's Yu, and I'm just passing through. Interesting name. Mine's Haru, and this idiot here is Nobu. I think your names are more interesting. You saying something? Just thinking aloud. Derchalton. Have you guys heard of Derchalton before? The D? Yeah. Eiji always talks about the D. That sounds inappropriate. Ignore him. He's been drinking like a fish. What's Eiji's little group got to do with you? You used to talk about them an awful lot. Derchalton this, Derchalton that. Treasure hunters in the wasteland. Can you believe that? Scavengers, more like it. He used to. Eiji stopped talking about it. Guess you're just tired of it and all. Everyone here knows about Derchalton now. Why, you ask? Well, I'm one of the survivors. Founder, actually. Really now? You mean you're the Yudai Sayashi? Preposterous. What are you talking about? Everyone knows about you, and he's sure ain't a scrawny brat like you. What he said. Yeah, better drop it, kid. Haru's profile's been added. Regulars. You come here often. Where are you from, kid? You don't look familiar. Does everyone in Akihabara know about the Empyrean? Cozy place with booze on tap and free from Sanctus bootlickers? You must be from somewhere else if you've never heard of it. Well, yeah, this is my first time in Akihabara. I've been to a whole lot of places, most Nova's Tokyo wards even, but I've never been to this side of town. It's no big deal. To answer your question, I've been coming here for maybe 6 months. Suppose you can call me a regular. Know anything interesting about the place? You scummy land grabbers ain't taking this bar. Over our dead bodies. I told you, I'm not with Sanctus. Nothing wrong with a little chit-chat, right? That's right, show some restraint, junk. The kid just wants to talk. Don't tell me I told you so. Because I told you so. He sure doesn't know what it means to drink in moderation. Can you blame the man? It's a wretched world we live in. Booze is the only cure for our world's ills. I get you. No funny tales about the establishment, then. None that I can think of. Whole new level. You said Derchalton went to a whole new level 2 years ago. What did you mean? You seriously have no idea? Everyone knows what they did. Enlighten me. Brad's a bit of a dum-dum, eh? Quiet. Derchalton wouldn't be so infamous if it weren't for what happened back then. Must have lost their minds. They went to chase the Golden Dream, even though everyone who tried it failed. You mean the treasure in Kinkakuji? I know that much. You ain't so ignorant after all, eh? How could I not know? I was there. Right, of course you were. And Lord Septimus threw a birthday party for you, too. You're really getting on my nerves. Okay, what happened in Kinkakuji 2 years ago? You were there, you should know. Why, you... Yeah, I was there, and I can't say anything legendary happened that time. That is why I know you're delusional, kid. Now go away, my drink is going bad. What a loser. If you weren't under Eiji's roof... There's a guy sitting by himself at that table. He looks like the lone wolf type, but he doesn't seem violent. I need every lead I can get. I'll just take a seat right here. You smiled awkwardly at the patron across the table. The response he got was a piercing glare. You casually rested his arms on the table, unsure of how to open conversation. A small knife flew swiftly through the air, landing close enough to graze Yu's skin. The two men glared intensely at each other. Could have torn your arm right off. I don't think so. Someone else's blood would have hit the floor first. The attacker retracted his weapon and smirked. Sharp eye. You don't know the half of it. What's your name? Sayashi. Yudai Sayashi. Yours? Call me Sogeki and be done with it. Sogeki it is, then. What do you want? You've gone through some rough patches. Are you really trying to be cute with me? How long have you been going here? Since the Empyrean opened their majestic doors. Must be some wild imagination to see the majesty. With enough alcohol in your blood, every pile of junk becomes a king's throne. And you've been seeing thrones since. 2 years, I think, since the dive's been around. years, huh? That's what I said. Sogeki's profile updated. Knife skill. You get to use that blade a lot. You certainly don't lack skill with it. You mean Darla? It's been a long love story between Darla and me. It has a name. She has a name. Remember it, or I'll make her remind you. Her kill count? 0. She's a pacifist. Couldn't hurt to fly if she tried. As for me, innumerable. Casualties from bar fights included. Not here. A good man like him deserves respect. Fair enough. Man of respect. You look like the type who respects strength. Sanctus has been making a lot of heads roll lately. If you're asking whether Darla and I fight for Sanctus, the answer is no. I'd never assume otherwise. The question is, what did Eiji do to keep you from painting his walls red? Is that a rhetorical question? No. You just seem like the type who ends bar fights rather decisively. You must have a lot of respect for Eiji if you haven't turned the Empyrean into a bloodbath yet. Respect? You're reading between the lines when there's nothing to find there. So what's keeping you from stabbing drunk loudmouths in the face and carving your name on their eyeballs? It's simple, really. Channeling Godo there. Free drinks. That doesn't seem like a tall order. Doesn't have to be. Better to get free beer in Akihabara's only oasis than take a bullet in the head in the messed up urban wasteland. I can't argue with that, really. It's not the best analogy, but I suppose it works. Or maybe he just really likes free beer. You don't look too convinced. Well, I imagine it's not so easy running into someone like you, considering you're the type who randomly throws a knife at people. Suppose you can say Eiji has experience in keeping people in line. You mean from being with Dirk Charlton? The group is more like an old man keeping his children from choking hazards. Can't be that. Heard he wasn't even the leader of that group. And Hanjo was this kid called Yu. Type who looks dangerous straight in the eye. Like, say, a knife flying straight at him. In that case, I'm stumped. What are you talking about, then? Afraid I'm not at liberty to tell you that. If he hasn't told you, why should I? Eiji's not exactly the talkative type, you know. Yet you seem to know something about him that I don't. I doubt you forced it out of him, and he's not one to gossip. Sogeki took a sip from his mug and fell silent, staring at you as if sizing him up. It's true what they say about you, eh? I'm not sure what they say about me, really. Doesn't matter. Eiji's got a dark past that he no doubt wants to keep under wraps. That's all I can tell you. A dark past, huh? If you can't tell me what it is, can you at least tell me how you found out about it? I've been around for a while. You don't mean in the Empyrean, do you? Even before this bar opened, Eiji had already made a reputation for himself. He's the kind of guy you're bound to hear about just because of how he affects people. Come to think of it, I did hear some rumors about him before we teamed up. Exactly. I don't think I need to explain further. Yeah, I get it. You don't cower behind Sanctus like lots of other people, so you've been places, seen things. At some point you must have heard what Eiji was up to. Something like that. Something like that. Am I missing anything? Look, I can't drink and talk at the same time, and my drink is getting warm. Fine, I'll let you go for now. Enjoy yourself. Sogeki just nodded and gestured you to go away. Here's the one I don't want to talk to. You feeling better? Oh, you mean last night? Yeah, I'm dandy. Looks like it. I'm Blue. How about you? I'm you. Oh, I see. I'm Blue. How about you? What? I'm kidding, silly. Yeah, I was a little slow on the uptake there. I'm not feeling blue. I'm alright. Perfect. Want to hear a joke then? Sure, why not? Alright then, where'd the otters come from? From underground? I don't know. Otters came from? Outer space! Oh, please. That was a good one, right? Right? I guess so. I'll be going now if you don't mind. You're boring. See you later then. I can't wait. Looks like you're not so blue after all. Well, whatever, I've got more important things to do. So they don't even let you talk to him again. That is awesome. No one's tried to break the glass and get the drinks inside yet. I like the way it is. Lucky to find it in the basement unharmed. That's a high-value decoration. No one will dare steal it from under my watch. Let me guess. A painting to die for, found conveniently untouched in a basement. Idiot. That's a famous painting from the old world. You don't have to be a fancy pants to recognize it. Well, excuse me.
There are rats in there.
Smokes are rare, aren't they? That's why you don't have any. But I keep the ashtray just in case. You get a lot of wealthy customers. Hunters of wealthy folks, maybe. I'd ask if you need anything, but you only have a cookie invitation for me. I should look around and talk to the customers first. So I have to talk to those guys again. Yudai Sayashi. So I'm popular now, huh? No idea who you are, kid. I mean, the Yudai Sayashi. How do you know him? You're a funny guy. You playing Kid Detective or something? Derchelton's always been on people's radars. Not surprised. They were everywhere back then. But 2 years ago, they went on a whole new level. We did keep ourselves busy, but I never knew we had a fan club. Which group are you with? I mean, I had no idea Derchelton was so popular. Well, it's mostly the kids who idolize treasure hunters nowadays. Treasure hunters? If you call it garbage treasure. Stop interrupting us with your gibberish, you hear? Anyway, Eiji's gang did a lot of good back in the day. So of course people talk about it. Is it really a stretch for you to believe I'm you? I believe so, yes, because I am me. No, I mean that Yudai Sayashi guy. That's me. Are you delusional? Look, if you really are him, there's an easy way to prove it. And that is... Word is he always had this particular thing with him all the time. There are all kinds of stories about it. Very handy tool if you ask me. I see. So if I show you this thing, you'll believe I'm the real deal, that I'm Yudai Sayashi. They say it's one of a kind. If that's true, then I suppose I'll have to believe you. Alright, I know exactly what this guy is talking about. There's only one thing I bring with me all the time, and that's... the Tonto. You mean this, don't you? What's that? She's gorgeous! It's a Tonto. It's a Tonto. Quite rare, actually, and mine is even more rare because of the special engraving on the blade. If you look closely, you'll see that it's small, masterful details. I'll be damned. They say you carried a flawless blade that always shine, no matter how many people you cut with it. You're the leader of Derchelton. I wouldn't call myself the leader. Eiji's better at calling shots than I am. I guess I'm stuck with the label, though. Can't believe my eyes, kid. Miracles do happen. Yudai Sayashi in the flesh, right before my very eyes. Nothing amazing about it. I'm not the only Derchelton member hanging out around here. Just call me you. One's a blessing, two's a curse. What's that supposed to mean? Not as busy as yesterday, are you? Busy enough. Too busy to talk to an old friend. That depends. Are we going to talk about fairy tales? Or wallow in past mistakes? Either way, I'm not interested. Oh, come on, lighten up. I just want to chat, that's all. I bet. Eiji, listen to me. I know that. You roll with Sogeki? We'll also go with Romanes. You used to talk about Derchelton, about us to your customers. They know about our adventures, both real and fictional. You're talking nonsense, you. Who do you think you are? How egotistical can you be? The world doesn't revolve around you. After we disbanded, everybody stopped caring about you. You're ancient history. That's not what your customers are telling me, Eiji. Seems you even turned me into an icon. Listen to you, you're so full of yourself. The Empyrean's been open for 2 years. Alright, so maybe I did talk about us a little. Back then I just opened the place and needed to build up my reputation. That was a long time ago. He has a point, but is that really the truth? I have to be careful with what I say here, or else he'll throw me out like last time. You're lying. That can't be right. I know for a fact that you weren't talking about us not too long ago. What are you yammering on about? Do you even have proof of this aside from drunken musings? Well, I do. There's some good that comes out of dealing with drunks. In vino veritas. My proof is... So, too bad you can't just use him. So this is the guy that's been there for a long time. The one that you have to pull is going to be him. You see, it doesn't really matter how long the Empyrean's been around. You cannot deny that you've been talking about your Cholton very recently, because Haru knows this, and he's only been a regular for 6 months. I heard it straight from the horse's mouth. It's hard to mistake 6 months for 2 years, even when you're drunk. There's a world of difference between the two. We both know it's impossible not to make the distinction. Eiji sighed and looked defeated. He wasn't one to deny when the rabbit's out of the bag. Haru, you and your big mouth. Fine, you got me. So what? I reminisce once in a while. Who doesn't? Don't be too flattered. I know. How could I be? I'm not the only Cholton. Me, you, Midori, Toshio, Hayami, Gunther, and Miho. We're all part of the team. I'm not so naive to take all the credit for your ramblings about the past. I'm still not seeing the point here. Just because I talk about the group doesn't mean I feel like chasing another false dream. I know. It's just nice they haven't completely forgotten, yeah. How old do you think I am? I got a long way before I turn senile. That's true. You're still as sharp as I remember. And your hyperbole won't get you anywhere. If I was so sharp, Kinkakuji would have never happened. Ignoring the warning signs wasn't so smart. You don't have to blame yourself. We were all in it. How everything looked back then. The potential reward far outweighed the risks. Yeah, and actually going there was a huge miscalculation. We're not going to talk about this. I'm fine where I stand right now, and there's no looking back. You've been looking back, Eiji. That much is a fact. Whatever. Are we done now? I have a place to run, so if we're done now, that would be great. This place seems to have some strong roots. How long have you been running it? 2 years, give or take a month or so. I hate being idle. What have you been up to these past few years? Well, you know. Gotta do what it takes to earn my 3 squares a day. Still refusing rations from Sanctus, huh? When are you gonna learn to be practical? I'll take pride over practicality any day. I still remember what you told me a long time ago, that bowing down is only good for getting stepped on. That doesn't mean you should pass on free food. People kill for biochips nowadays. I still use mine to sleep in their settlements. They have better mouths to feed than mine. I'd shove a shoe in yours if I could. Way to derail. Is it really so hard for you to talk about this place? 2 things. 1, it's none of your business, and 2, there's not much to tell. I set up shop right after Kinkakuji. Period. How do you keep the place well stocked? I'll say it again, the Empyrean is none of your business. It's not like I'm going to steal your business secrets. Stand behind a counter isn't what I want out of life. Then stop poking your nose where it doesn't belong. Sanctus knows I cannot solve everyone's problems. Truth is, they need well-oiled cogs to keep their machine running. Running a bar is only logical if you think about it. When you put it that way, yeah. You buddies with that Sogeki guy? Who? That knife-wielding jackass who tries to kill my customers every once in a while? We don't rub elbows, that's for sure. Did you know that he's a big fan of yours? What the hell are you talking about? We had a little chat and he went on and on about how awesome you were back in the day. You don't have to be a fan to have heard of Cholton. That's what surprised me. He was talking about the stuff you did before you joined Cholton. He actually didn't say much, but it made me curious. It made me realize that there's a lot of I don't know about you, which is sad because we were on the same team for such a long time. We're not going there, you. I'm just wondering if anything else is bothering you. We are not going there. Before Cholton, there was something else. Something that could be holding you back even now. I'm not taking any more of this crap.
Get out of here.
Hey, I just don't want to be missing out. This random broody guy in a bar knows something about you I don't. I thought we were buddies. I'm not kidding. Leave. Now. Eiji always had this air of authority. Whenever he got serious, you knew better than to argue with him. At that moment, you realized he had to stand down before things got worse. I don't think he can handle more of this tonight. I better go now before things get worse. Guess we're done for tonight. So, what happened? How'd it go? Okay, I guess. You got kicked out again. You've always understood me, Midori. Will you have my babies? What? Hey, don't get so flustered. I'm just messing around. Yeah, I know, but before the Armageddon, people got into trouble with bad jokes like that. Seriously? How? They called it sexual harassment. It's when you act pervy to someone who's not interested. Whoa, wait a minute. I didn't mean it like that. I mean, it just came out. 60 years ago, you'd be lynched for that. Sheesh, I'm sorry, okay? Midori giggled through the transceiver. Aren't you glad it's 2071? So glad. Where'd you get the sexual harassment stuff from anyway? Have you been reading Toshio's e-books again? Yep, you should read once in a while too. You know I've got too much on my plate for that. What'd you call me for anyway? Oh, right. Judging by how things went between you and Eiji, don't you think you're missing something? Yeah, like what? With Eiji, you don't want to just bring up any old topic out of the blue. I don't. Well, whatever you did, it didn't work. Maybe there's a certain way to approach Eiji. Okay, I'll bite. Enlighten me. For example, there are things Eiji isn't willing to talk about at first, right? You have to know which subjects are fair game and which ones are not. Alright, fine, you've got a point. There are definitely things that make him uncomfortable. Right, those are landmines you want to avoid. Until he decides to talk about them with you anyway. Alright, I've got the gist of it. Thanks as always, Midori. Don't mention it. Good luck, you. Avoid the landmines. Avoid the landmines. Come to think of it, I was doing pretty well until I said something he didn't like. I need to be more careful next time. For now, I should head back to the settlement. No matter what the locals say, I still can't imagine how this place is safe at night. So, let's go on over to the settlement. No one's popping up tonight. And I'm not actually able to interact with anything, because I wanted to examine this since it's flickering, but... yeah. Two men screamed at each other in front of the settlement's entrance. Their screams echoed through the dark, empty streets of Akihabara. I'm telling you, it's all over. Sanctus is a sinking ship, and your head will be mounted on the wall of some GPA schmuck. That's delusional. The army of Lord Septimus has greater numbers and they're better armed. Those infidels won't stand a chance. Look around you. Sanctus isn't doing so hot anymore. Sanctus is over. They're squeezing out all the blood from their victims because they know GPA is going to win. That's nonsense. Shut your dirty mouth. You shut your mouth. You're being taken for a fool. All of you. Fools. Sanctus is a sham. Ha. Idiots. Sanctus feeds you now, but you will all be dead soon. While everyone had their eyes on the quarreling men, you turned his attention to the Sanctus employed security officer. Look at that guy. He doesn't know what to think. He's probably asking himself if he should do his duty as a loyal Sanctus follower or not. Can't blame him for not wanting to bite the hand that feeds him. Are things really that bad for Sanctus now? A thunderous gunshot interrupted Yu's thoughts, shocking everyone into silence. Sanctus' vocal detractor keeled over. Move on, people. Nothing to see here. Talking smack about Sanctus and Sanctus territory is not a good idea. Especially when there's a nearby Sanctus officer eager to do his job. Yeah, being stupid really kills more than bad luck. Let me see that ship. Okay, get inside. She's sleeping. Blessed are we, for we will never go hungry under the loving watch of Lord Septimus. Yeah. Our enemies shall fall, and Sanctus will conquer. You killed them all. What's wrong with you? Pray like you mean it. My war cry is impeccable. Hear me roar. I sense insecurity in your voice. Do you doubt the power of Lord Septimus? You heard the man screaming outside. Everyone whispering about it at the GPA. The GPA will be struck down by the omnipotent hammer of Lord Septimus. Do not be shaken, for this is the truth. Of course. Hail, Lord Septimus, hail. So, even the most devout Sanctus are wavering now. GPA must be working overtime. Uh-huh, you're right. Speaking a different language? You think so, huh? Still speaking a different language? True, that. I have to agree with you there. I can't stand this anymore. I have to know. What is he saying? What? Oh, sorry. He's not very good at Japanese. Really? There are still people like that. You could put it that way. But your friend obviously understands Japanese. Can't he speak it too, even just a little? So I don't feel like he's plotting to kill me? He speaks enough, I suppose. Yes, yes, me speak Japanese to this man happy. Thanks. Carry on with your discussion, then. Right, anyway. Is it just me, or are we getting fewer rations? What you talk about? Lord Septimus give food to mouth, put and bed to sleep. I hear you. I just feel like I'm getting hungry faster after a meal than before. No worry. You hungry mean you work hard for Lord Septimus. Lord Septimus reward you abundantly. I sure hope so. I know so. Okay. Ouch, my ears. Maybe he should stick to his own language after all. So, nothing new there. Real quick. The refugees inside stare harshly at me. Is something on my face? This room's occupied. I'm not sleeping in there tonight. So those are still the same.
In other news, rebel activities are increasing in the outer territories of Novus Tokyo, compromising the safe...
Okay, so that is something we heard before. He's sleeping. Not a bright idea to disturb him. Did you go to bed early tonight? Thankfully. Phew. You're here to stay the night again, huh? Yeah, I'll probably be around for a few more days. Really? I'll try to keep your space reserved then. Thanks for the offer, but you don't have to. You want me to, trust me. This place is packed every night. I'll have to take you up on your offer then. Thank you. Don't mention it. It's the least I can do after all the trouble last night. I appreciate it. It's always refreshing to find people willing to help. What a good girl. I hope her grandfather's condition doesn't end up killing them both. How many times have I seen a perfectly able guy kick the bucket because of a living, breathing liability? Probably couldn't count them all if I tried. Oh well. Hope you have a good night's rest. Thanks. Should I go to sleep? As far as I know, there's not really any missable achievements. Or achievements at all. So, I don't really know why you'd want to stay awake there. Tomorrow's gonna be another challenge. Miho, wait for me. The biggest scorpion I've ever seen crawls on the ground. It's about 2 fists big. It's probably looking for food. Doesn't even notice I'm here. I can't take my eyes off this mysterious creature. The longer I watch, the bigger it grows. And bigger. And bigger. Its weight begins to slow everything down. The scorpion is now larger than me. I'm a bacterium compared to it now. The scorpion has become larger than life. The ground rumbles with its every step. I'm afraid for my life. My heart could thump out of my chest in a second. I freeze where I stand. I held my breath in a futile attempt to remain unnoticed. The scorpion lifts its claw, intent on striking me down. Is this how it's gonna end? Is this how I'll die? If I cry for help, will someone hear me? Chapter 1, Day 3. You'll concede eventually, Eiji. There's no way you don't care about this, even if it's just to get the gang back together again. Here I come. So, let's see if anything changed before we go in. That's one path less traveled for good reason. It's blocked. This has been used for eons. No amount of magic can get this junk running. If I stare too hard, that man might pop out of the billboard and smack me. Old world citizens had a lot to spend paper on. So it's kind of neat that it does change from day to day. It's a place to be if you want to hang out with drunk dudes and a weird maid girl. Iron Will. So this one doesn't change. Okay, maybe I actually was supposed to grab that. I don't know. Welcome back, Master. Whoa, where did you come from? I was staying right here, didn't you notice? Sorry, don't take it personally. Please don't apologize, Master. It's nice to see you again in the Empyrean. Enjoy your stay. I sure will, thanks. What are they all worked up for? You gotta be out of your mind. That's the most stupefying idea ever. Shut up, will ya? When this works, I'll be laughing at your sorry ass while eating premium Sanctus meat. You can't just rely on a botched ship like that. You'll get yourself killed. This one ain't botched, fool. Just gotta reconfigure it to accept a new ID, and then I'll be drowning in Sanctus booze. The only thing you're gonna drown in is your own blood when your stupid plan fails. Actually, it might just work. What are you talking? Oh, it's the Jalton kid. What do you know about anything, punk? I'd tell you if you were a little nicer. You should ask Eiji about how many times we've had to trick Sanctus scanners. No kidding? Must be a bunch of bollocks. Believe it or not, I've hacked biochips so many times I can probably do it on a unicycle, while juggling an elephant and do chainsaws. Mind proving you ain't all talk? Oh, he doesn't look all talk to me. He's got talk and cry in him. Now this guy is just begging for a fight. Calm down, you. Remember why you're here. Don't get too involved. What are you looking at me like that for? You idiot, why would you be so rude to someone who's trying to save you? Or do you want to die like a dog when Sanctus soldiers realize your chip is fake? Srunt? Wasn't he a garbage collector or whatever? You're really pushing me here. Piss off, you drunk bastard. You, right? Think you can help this hopeless mongrel? Yeah, right, as if I need help hacking this little thing. I'll give it a shot. As long as I can look at it without someone breathing down my neck, I should be able to rewire it. That way, it will accept the new ID. Truth is, Toshio's always been the one assigned to biochip hacking duty. I've seen him do it enough times, so I can probably pull it off. Probably. It's not like I've got anything to lose, and odds are I'll do a better job than some drunk guy. Hear that? Just shut up for 1 minute while the kid does his thing. Nobu reluctantly conceded, grumbling incoherently as he handed Haru the chip, as well as the tools needed to modify it. See, the guy's not as stupid as he looks. He knows he ain't got the slightest clue on how to make the counterfeit Sanctus biochips. If it was easy, everyone would be doing it. And you think I can? The way Eiji would talk about you whenever he'd reminisce. I'd say it's a safe bet you got more skills than the typical street rat. I'll take that as a compliment, I suppose. Now give me that. You moved to the table Haru and Nobu shared. He examined what he had at his disposal to create a fake chip that could fool Sanctus scanners. Looks like your friend's ramblings weren't baseless after all. This chip is in mint condition. I'll be done in no time. Just gotta make sure the ID is synchronized with the board. When all the lights turn green, the chip should be good to go. Okay. I do not remember this puzzle. 1, 3, 4. So... hit... 2, 3... 8, 7. There. Too bad you can't really test it. Stolen scanners can't connect to Sanctus's database, but the little buggers should work. The circuit board is golden and the ID looks legit. As long as you don't act suspicious in front of a Sanctus guard, you'll be as good as indoctrinated. For real? You could have done it yourself, but you also would have gotten yourself killed. Don't mind him. That boozehead doesn't have a big enough vocabulary to be thankful. I wonder... You know how convenient it is to be taken under Sanctus' wing, don't you? You and Eiji have been everywhere. You've seen how terrible things are outside of Sanctus' loving arms. Loving arms, yeah, I hear you. Tell you what, you're trying to recruit Eiji back into your old gang, right? How would you know that? Eiji was what, 10 feet away when you two were whispering sweet nothings to each other? Of course word's gonna go around. Fair enough, and you bring this up because... You helped my buddy here. Let me tell you something that might return the favor. You see, every single guy in here is messed up one way or another. Aren't we all? Good point. What I'm trying to say is that the regulars of the Imperium would be terrible piles of misery if they were elsewhere. Eiji's a good guy, yeah? He might seem grumpy and all, but he's got a soft heart. You think so too, huh? He's the kind of person whose actions speak for him. Exactly. He might not want to talk about this, so you should be careful. One reason he might not want to get off his ass is because he genuinely cares about the Imperium's customers. Without this dump, they'd have nowhere else to chill and drown away their problems. Eiji being Eiji. Looks like it. I reckon he was a daddy figure in your old group, eh? Heard a bunch of you guys were pretty young. Eiji was definitely the oldest, but daddy figure? The idea sends chills down my spine. I suppose it would, eh? You back, kid? Just feel like chatting with the locals. Whatever. If that idiot's ship doesn't work, there'll be blood on your hands. But you're used to that kind of thing, ain't you? I wash my hands once in a while. Heh. You've been a regular for half a year. Anything interesting happen on your watch? This place look eventful to you? I'm more curious about what you said earlier about everyone being messed up. Why don't you go ask them yourself? I would, but I'm on a very important mission right now. Persistent, ain't you? Why do you want to know so bad? Maybe he likes to gossip like a bored old lady. Shush. What's the catch, kid, really? Well, I was just wondering if I could learn more about my old pal. That so? You're pulling out all the stops to get him back, eh? Something to that effect. I suppose I do have a little story to tell you. Let me loosen up a bit first, alright? Go crazy. Attaboy, come back later when I'm wasted. Sounds like he's got something to share once he's drunk. Better not forget to talk to him later before confronting Eiji. So what's up with you two? We are not a couple, if that's what you're asking, you brat. I was thinking more along the lines of your constant presence in this joint. Which part of being a regular don't you understand? Regular. We're here to stay, like it or not. Hey, if you want to drink your lives away, that's your decision. I'm just wondering, what do you guys do when the sun is up? Always drinking at night, hungover in the morning? I'd like to tell you we're upstanding citizens during the day, but we obviously aren't. Don't let me in with you pathetic losers. I'm a hero. There he goes again. What'd you say? You act as I'm talking nonsense. Oh, not at all. How could I ever imply that? Now enlighten us again about how you fought for some small village in the boondocks. It was glorious, I tell ya. Sanctus was always on one of their damn supply runs. They were armed to the teeth. Like most folks who live far from Novus Tokyo, all we had was what we managed to scavenge. How far was this? We were way out in the mountains of Akitakata. I've never heard of that place. I don't know if that's actually a thing or not. You gotta wonder how desperate Sanctus is to send troops out that far. Far enough for no one to notice what atrocities Sanctus commits out there. Witnesses can be buried on the spot. Sanctus loves that kind of business opportunity. But they only take over our lands over my dead body, that's for damn sure. Every time they attacked, they brought more goons and more weapons, but we knew the lay of the land. Not to mention I was dare to heroically. I was dared to heroically lead the pack. Suckers could aim and shoot, but they never had nothing to hit. Guerrilla warfare, baby. In other words, hiding is your specialty, like a cockroach. If there was another apocalypse, you'd survive. We were moving, you know, all tactically, hitting them from every which way. Then we were gone like the wind before they could retaliate. The fact that he's doing this is throwing me off a little bit because I want to say retaliate, but then I realize, yeah, he's saying something else and I have to stop and reread it. You mean tactically, right? And retaliate. You're way too drunk. I'm telling you, Sanctus never knew it in him. Akitakata is a mountainous region, so it's much easier for the locals to defend it. I'm not sure how Sanctus even found your obscure town in the boonies. Sanctus does have a habit of exploring agriculturally thriving communities. I assume you were a bunch of farmers out there. You betcha we were farmers. Toiled and wiped the sweat off our brows every day. That explains the Sanctus attacks. What I don't understand is why you're here in Akihabara now, drying booze away from your lovely homeland. Well, that's none of your goddamn business. Really, I want to know. Because you could be living the good life out there, yet here you are, tragically forcing your way into Sanctus. It's complicated, okay? You know what private means, kid? Fair enough, you definitely know your buddy well, Haru. Are you sure you're not going out? We have enough of a population problem as it is, kid. Got no time to be swinging the other way. I didn't think you were the socially conscious type. Ain't that a little judgmental of you? It was just a joke, jeez. Do I look like a pile of shit? Why do you keep buzzing around me? You give me too much credit. I'm not that slick. So what do you want? Your tongue loosened up a bit yet? Because I'm really curious about what you said last night. Want me to loosen yours? How do you even make friends? How about you make friends with the corpses I'm about to bury you with? Hey now, let's not get ahead of ourselves. How back in this dark history of Eiji's be? Bad enough that his lips are sealed tight about it. And you can't help me out. I'm not a charity worker. Oh well. Darla has a story, doesn't she? None for your ears. Could Darla possibly be? You named your knife after your daughter. That's a disconcerting choice. The hell are you yapping around about? You speak so dearly of Darla. You must be incredibly proud of her. It only makes sense that you named her after your child. Are you telling me Darla is a little girl's name? Want me to show you who's the little girl? Nah, I'll pass. Okay, Darla is definitely not his daughter's name. So, I hope that's not his mother's name, but all these kind of suck. Darla is your wife's name, isn't she? Isn't it? I'm sure you want to be with Darla forever and ever. Say what now? Darla's my spouse? I'll take that as a compliment. Whatever floats your boat, I guess. That's one boat you don't want to rock either. To answer your question, no, I did not name Darla after a wife. A wife. Not my wife. You heard me. Or do you need Darla to clean your ears? They're sparkly clean, thank you very much. You got a crazy idea of personal hygiene, buddy. So let's try mother and see what happens. Your mother's name. How sweet of you. No matter who you are or what you've been through, the heart still lies at home. I'm not sure I like where this is going. Hey, we all just want to go home and smell the pie at some point in our lives. Sukeki threw his knife at you, who dodged it expertly. It's never going to work on you, is it? I can't count the number of times I've had to dodge a sharp object flying at my face. Funny, you're the first to dodge Darla twice. That gives me an idea for your mom joke. Care to try? I'll pass. The way he's looking at me right now, I think the smallest push will send him over the edge. That's my cue to scram. You here for my free target practice? I already have something that should jog Sukeki's memory. What was it again? You see those Nomad recruitment posters outside? Wonder why Sanctus hasn't taken them down yet. They must be really old, I guess. Old enough for Sanctus not to care. I don't blame them. Find it hard to care myself. Now that you mention it, are Nomad groups still looking for members? I thought they'd smarten up. The groups I've come across recently prefer having a smaller head count. Less mouths to feed, less potential for fights breaking out, containable diseases. The perks of having a tight-knit faction go on and on. Bigger crowds are hard to maintain, easier to lead to their deaths. Yeah. In a group large enough, you can push someone off a cliff and no one will notice. Yeah, except that person's family and friends. In an ideal world, everyone knows someone. Sugeki fell silent as he looked out the window. He gazed far into the dimly lit streets of Akihabara. Obviously, the ideal world burned 6 decades ago. To be fair, things must have been really crappy even then. That's when nations started dropping nukes on each other, after all. Guess so. At least Tokyo was well defended enough to still stand in the aftermath. At the cost of everywhere else getting obliterated. Sugeki shrugged. It's something. Eiji. Finally. This is what I've been waiting to hear. Eiji ran a tough racket. commune got too big for his hands. If anyone understands the perils of leading a large flock, it's him. I only caught wind of fragmented rumors and stories. Best I could do was put the pieces together, and the full picture ain't pretty. How it all went down, I have no idea. Hearsay has its limits. You know an awful lot about it. Don't leave me hanging here. I wasn't there, and I don't know anyone with first-hand experience. Whatever happened that made Eiji switch paths from leading a pack to riding with a brat like you is anyone's guess. Even for you. You look like the type who has his ears open all the time. I'm not a damn gossiping housewife. That's all I know. Chill out. I got you. From that overview alone, I can tell there are probably crazy spin-offs I wouldn't want to hear. You got that right. In one version, Eiji becomes a cannibal responsible for the demise of his own crew. How's that for a tale to tell your friends around a campfire? Could be the correct telling of the story, too. I always thought Eiji had certain diet issues. You're kidding. I am. Sorry. So now we have info on Sogeki. The one I don't really want to talk to. Stop! What the hell? Let me read your mind. You were thinking of talking to me, weren't you? I regret even entertaining the thought. Don't be such a downer. I have a new joke for you. This one is better, I promise. Hit me. This better be a good one. It is. What do you call a fake noodle? I don't know. A fake noodle is an impasta. That was terrible. Not interested. Not right now. I'm a busy man, believe it or not. Careful now. That's how you turn into a grumpy old man. I sure hope not. I can't stand that annoying laugh. Eiji probably sleeps somewhere in there. I don't think there's any dead bodies in there, so it must be where he keeps his booze. A confoundingly charming painting. Makes for a nice centerpiece to the bar, if you ask me. I don't know if I've read this before or not. Small city known before the Armageddon as a bastion of tradition was overrun by bandits who steal from Lord Septimus and his people. Once again, His Holiness proves supreme as a final Sanctus victory has secured the area, increasing agricultural output and augmenting food supplies for the mighty Sanctus army and its people. An unusual rumor befuddles residents from neighboring wards as word spreads of a ghost roaming around the streets of Shibuya. The apparition is believed to be the departed soul of Hachiko, the legendary dog revered in the old world for his lifelong faithfulness to his master. While Hachiko is indeed the embodiment of loyalty the followers of Lord Septimus must observe, caution against unconfirmed paranormal achievements other than the miracles of His Holiness is strongly advised. I'm not too eager to try soda that's been around since the old world. Oh, you're lost, dude. Interesting stories, too. They're gonna collaborate one day, I tell ya. Sanctus protection my ass. Hey, at least they're gonna feed me nice. I wouldn't say it's worth the grub, though. I'd watch the food I was putting in my mouth if I were ya. Ha! When you're starved as a dirty dog in the countryside, don't be begging me for mercy. Oh, I would never. You can count on that. They seem peppy. Haru said I should wait until he's liquored up, but is now really a good time. Aren't you in a talkative mood? What? Got a problem with me, punk? Am I too loud for you? No, go crazy. You owe me a good story or two. Ah, Yudai Sadashi. It's, the legendary street rat. From scavenger of trinkets to leader of the most notorious treasure hunting gang. Moving up in life, aren't we? I wouldn't call her Charlton the most notorious, no. Don't you be modest now. What are we talking about again? You were going to share some heartwarming anecdotes. What in tarnation are you talking about? You were going to reward me for helping out your BFF here. Hey, watch your language. Oh, right. I remember now. What's he sounding sober for all of a sudden? You want Eiji back in your crew that badly, eh? I'm sure you can imagine how useful he is out there. When you're trying to cover your ass, Eiji is the best man to have by your side. You don't have to tell me that. Let me tell you a story. Once upon a time, there was an idiot who tried to run away from Sanctus. He couldn't take it anymore, living inside the walls of dogma and delusion. To think people would kill for a Sanctus biochip. They have no idea. Sanctus bases are practically asylums for crazy where men can be driven to madness. Where did this idiot come from? Oh, the worst of them all. Bethsaida, that wretched place. You're awfully affected by this. Whatever. Anyway, this idiot decided to put his tail between his legs and run. He had no idea where to go, but he knew he had to scram. Somebody must have had Sanctus written on his forehead, because it did not take long for insurgents to stop him in his tracks. Insurgents? The GPA! Who else would be mowing down innocent Sanctus members? Soon the idiot was dodging bullets from those rapid-firing maniacs. This happened not too far from Novus Tokyo, where Bethsaida is. He was lucky because there were a lot of empty buildings to hide in. He survived then. Let me finish the goddamn story! Don't you want to hear the part where Eiji comes in? Oh yeah, he's not in the picture yet. He came in the nick of time. Dumbass hide inside a ruined building, right? Try not to get shot and die in such a depressing place. Right. That's when he heard a voice. It wasn't Lord Septimus whispering sweet nothings in his ear. 'Twas something more real. The voice was loud enough for him and his predators to hear. Don't move. Stay where you are. No one knew who the voice was talking to, but the dumbass had no other options anyway. If he as much as peeked out, his head would have been blown off. Haru paused to take a sip. This is the good stuff. Eiji seems proud of his homemade booze. What happens next? The idiot couldn't see where he was going. He only heard confusion, followed by gunshots. The idiot prayed for his life. One after another, GPA soldiers screamed in pain. The voices ceased before the gun smoke could dissipate. Let me guess. Whoever took care of the GPA used a weapon that made a thwack sound. How'd you know? It was the sound of salvation to the idiot's ears. Every single time he heard that thwack, a scream of death would follow. But he was still alive, so he knew it was his enemies that were fallen. Whoever did the killing moved really fast. He had to if he was going to win against a much larger force. The idiot couldn't even thank the man. He didn't budge until he was absolutely sure moving an inch wouldn't mean death. So the two didn't meet each other. For Septimus' sake, let me finish. Their story doesn't end there. See, the idiot had nowhere to go, but he realized how dangerous it was to stray too far away from Sanctus. He was chipped, after all. So he just sort of wandered aimlessly. Then he came across a rather intimidating, long-haired man not far from the shootout. This man had a strange device on his back. Long hair and a strange device on his back. The man had the stench of blood. Then he had thought of one reason why someone would smell that way. Did you just save me? The idiot asked. The man did not reply. For some odd reason, the idiot took that as an affirmative and broke into tears. Thank you for saving my worthless life, thank you. The man didn't look pleased. The hell are you doing out here? Don't you know about the increased GPA activity just outside the city? The man asked the idiot. The idiot replied. Of course I do, but I had no choice. There's no way I'm staying anywhere near Sanctus. I've had enough. The man asked, It's that bad, huh? I sure as hell can't take it anymore. You receive food and shelter, but at what cost? The herders do absolutely everything to increase their ranks. I've seen children abducted to force their fathers to sign up and die for Sanctus. The old and sick are treated like meat shields. They're driven to their deaths sniffing out GPA soldiers. They're promised salvation, their families, sustenance. But how can they reap the benefits when they're dead? I just couldn't take it anymore. After that was silence. The man with the strange device strapped onto his back didn't utter a single word. He looked away, almost in a shy manner. Go to Akihabara. You'll find a piece of heaven there. Those were the last words they shared. Fast forward to a few months later, and now we're here. You wanted to ask about whether the story was about Haru and Eiji, but it would have been pointed out the obvious. Tears welled up in Haru's eyes. You needed no other confirmation. So that's what Eiji's been doing, huh? I wonder if he still roams around looking for outcasts during daytime. Hey, thanks. What? You got your story. Now get out of my face. Alright. Looks like Eiji hasn't changed much in the past couple of years. Always caring about other people, even though he tries to hide it. I'm sure he still cares deeply for Miho. Getting to join my cause is a simple matter of warming up to the idea. I have work to do. So, real quick, I'm gonna talk to Blue Hair No bad jokes for me tonight. Before he sat down, you couldn't help but notice that annoyed look on Eiji's face. You look like you're having a tough night. Damn herders keep buzzing around like flies. If I could just swat them without getting Sanctus dog sick on me, we'd have less mouths to feed around here. Herders were here. They were. They drop by rather frequently. I guess taking trips to the local watering hole isn't beyond their divine nature. They enjoy their nights out too often, if you ask me. So, herder activity is not exclusive to spreading the word of Lord Septimus, huh? Herders are all just ambitious upstarts anyway. It's easy to see why they turn out the way they do. Being a pain in the ass is part of their job description. From Sanctus fanatics to heroic missionaries out to share salvation. How can they possibly go wrong? Salvation, yeah right. They serve delusion on a silver platter. That's putting it lightly, don't you think? These days, herders moonlight as recruiters of meat shields. They're still saviors in a way. The more poor saps are sent out to die, the more they save resources for the living. Preying on the weak and desperate has always been Sanctus's MO, right? To anyone feeble and hungry enough, fighting for Sanctus is a golden opportunity. The way I say it, Sanctus is really just doing the dirty work no one else has the gall for. A bit harsh, though. Harsh, but rational. Rational and effective. I know you agree with me on this, kid. Your hands aren't exactly clean. Remind me to salute a herder next time I see one, then. Go ahead. Maybe you'll listen to the bastard's banter and join the cause. You want to get rid of me that badly, huh? Pretty much. A little dishonesty won't kill you. What can I say? I'm an honest man running an honest business. So now we have the profile update. Nomad groups. I saw a Nomad group's recruitment poster outside. I think they call themselves the Iron Will. Did I miss anything? Are Nomad groups in fashion again? I doubt they're doing very well. Not when Sanctus and the GPA are turning everyone into soldiers and hoarding all the supplies. So I figured. What's that poster doing outside your bar, then? What's your problem? The poster isn't doing any harm. Are you running with the Iron Will or what? You're generous enough to help them with their recruitment drive, apparently. They slapped a damn poster on my wall and I haven't taken it down yet. That's not much in the way of assistance, if you ask me. Free beer and free ad space. You've gotten way more generous than when I first met you. I'm no Boy Scout like you, but I've come to appreciate the pleasant feeling I get from helping people. So that means... No, as far as your crazy mission goes, you're on your own. Harsh. If you use your head a little, you'll realize I'm actually doing you a favor. I'm sure you can find something better to spend your life on than chasing a delusion. I'm not going to argue with you this time, but let me tell you, Toshio and Midori don't think it's so crazy. The kid genius might know a hell of a lot about technology in the old world, but he's just a child. As gullible and impressionable as one his age could be. Midori's a good kid. She'll support you no matter what stupid endeavor you're haplessly diving into. As to whether or not she believes in Noah's Ark, I wonder. They're good friends, aren't they? Helping me with something as important as, say, reviving my dead sister. You three will all come to terms with reality eventually. Have you even talked to Gunther and Hayami about this? Not yet. My first stop is the Empyrean. Might as well make it your last. You're not going to fool those two either. We'll see about that. Indeed we will. Nomad group involvement. Say, do you perhaps have more involvement with the Iron Will than you're letting me in on? I doubt leaving that poster outside sits well with your Sanctus patrons. Herders aren't going to like it. Try not to look too deeply into things. That's how conspiracy theorists get their start. I wonder, should I press on or leave this topic for now? Do I have enough information to go on? Let's press. What's the worst that could happen? Sogeki imparted a few interesting words to me. Few being the key word here, given that your knife-swinging customer is a man of few words. And this concerns me because he told me you ran your own Nomad group. Not this crap again. Can you blame me? You're so secretive about it, I can't help but be curious. It's like there's a red button with a note that reads, "Don't press." You'll press it, won't you? I know I would. You must not think highly of me if you believe I'll act so carelessly. I guess you won't, huh? My question was rhetorical anyway, the point being... There is no point. No point in this line of questioning. Believe what you want. What's done is done. Ancient history will not change my mind about the present and the future. Interesting. He's not denying involvement with nomad groups. Should I press further? Yep. When you say what's done is done, are you talking about your tribal leader stint? Sokeki said it's some sort of dark history. You know what's dark? The Empyrean's back alley. If you look there, you just might find carcasses of what used to be nosy pricks. Oh, I'm sure those aren't the only things you shove under the rug. There's also the fact that you ditched your nomadic crew when shit hit the fan. Kid, you have no idea what you're talking about. And you'll have no idea who you are in the morning once I'm done with you. Now drop the baseless accusations. The truth will rear its ugly head eventually, old pal. Not before your head is rolling on the ground, buddy. I've done enough for tonight. No need to push while Eiji is still in a good mood. I'm getting the hang of it, and Eiji's loosening up. At this rate, I might convince him to tag along soon. Miho, I can't wait to see your smile again. Always right on time. Here comes Midori's call. Yudai Sayashi reporting in. What? You wanted a stance report on Mission Recruit the Bartender, right? Did he kick you out again? Believe it or not, I got out on my own. Oh, things got hairy and you had to floor it? Nope, nothing like that. A herder visit had him all annoyed, but everything between us went smoothly. Glad to hear things are looking up for you, Yu. What are you saying? Things are looking up for us, not just me. This is Miho we're talking about. You're right, it was just a bad word choice, that's all. Never mind. Anyway, thanks a lot for your advice. It really came in handy. Of course, it only takes a little sensitivity to deal with Eiji, really. You two have complementary personalities, so to speak. Meaning? Well, you have your differences and similarities. For example, you both just can't stand to do nothing when someone's in trouble. I can't speak for myself, but I did find out a thing or two about what Eiji's been doing. Still the caring old guy that we used to know. He's not that old. Old enough for me. Because you keep on saying that, Eiji's probably more conscious of his age than other people in their late 20s. Anyway, I've been thinking. No way. What's that supposed to mean? Nothing. Go on. If you were on an island with 4 animals... I knew it. Shut up and listen. If you were stuck on an island with 4 animals, a deer, a rooster, a monkey, and a bird, and you can only take 3 of them aboard the rescue ship, who would you leave behind? I can't really say I didn't see this coming. Anyway, my answer would be... the deer. I'd leave the deer. Never gonna eat that one again. Okay. Wait a minute, does that mean you want to eat the bird and monkey? Whatever it takes to survive, right? The chicken only lasts a couple of days. I see. That's how you'll do it, huh? Don't get me wrong, I'd save them all if I could. But you didn't really give me that option. Enough of the silly questions, though. How are things on your end? Do you really want to know? What's with the sudden shift in the tone of her voice? Sure. Lately you've only been talking about me and Eiji. I was wondering how you're doing over there. Where to start? I imagine Harajuku isn't much different from other metropolitan areas. Sanctus has been recruiting aggressively, and we often hear about the GPA's transgressions. That's funny. They call them transgressions as if Sanctus has sovereignty over the GPA. Their argument is that a lot of new GPA recruits are chipped. A good portion of the GPA now consists of former Sanctus members. I bet. Both sides have a whoever's not with me is against me mentality. There's no middle ground. By choice or by force, you'll end up joining one or the other. The only real difference is in the recruitment measures. Sanctus will indirectly squeeze the life out of you until you join them, while the GPA does it the loud way. It's so depressing to think about. I try my best to help out in the community, but everyone is full of fear. Sounds tough. Hang in there, alright? Thanks. You too. Don't let Eiji push you around. Who do you think you're talking to? Of course I won't. That's the spirit. It must be tough being stuck in one place like that. Esther Charlton, we went everywhere. Free as peregrine falcons, as Eiji would put it. I hope Midori is doing alright. It's another quiet night. People from outside Nova's Tokyo is bustling. People from outside believe Nova's Tokyo is bustling with activity. If only they could see this. Sanctus must have a tight handle on the local populace. This is a low-energy place if I ever saw one. It helps that they're hoarding resources, too. Can't party when you're hungry. Come to think of it, you need guts to live here without a chip. There's not a lot of perks if you're not Sanctus. Enterprising folks probably come here all the time to rob well-fed Sanctus followers. I reckon jacking supply transport vehicles is a popular sport among the locals. Business must not be booming, though. Otherwise Nobu wouldn't force himself into Sanctus instead. Glad to see there's a thriving little community here, no matter what means they use to survive. I'd make a knock-knock joke, but I wouldn't like who's there. If I throw a rock out there, the people inside will probably retaliate with bullets. Both children and adults hide in the back of cargo trucks, albeit for different reasons. With so many signs outside, it's safe to assume this place was a jackpot for whoever flipped it. Let's see that ship. Okay, get inside. So, have any of these changed? The Sanctus nuts. Rain or shine, the destiny written in the stars is clear. That's the spirit. The followers of Lord Septimus have nothing to fear. The stars tell all. The GPA shall grow to immeasurable numbers. They will storm the palace, and Sanctus will fall. Have you been drinking that fishy bar again? The lies of the infidels should only strengthen your faith, for they are ignorant and deluded. With the guidance of Lord Septimus, we are strong. Yeah, maybe you're right. Thank Lord Septimus, I'm not hungry tonight. Can't wait to see the looks on their faces when they're drafted and sent to the front lines to die. That's cruel. What am I thinking? Speaks in a different language. Shh, he's here. What the hell? Greetings, mister. You welcome here all time. I've been chipped since I was a baby, so I'd hope so. Welcome, welcome. What is wrong with this guy? Well, you kind of spooked him when you requested he use a different language. Really? Sorry, I didn't mean to. It was just a bit infuriating to hear a conversation that's only half comprehensible. I could have sworn you were plotting against me. No, sir, we have no evil plans. Worship Sanctus, work hard, get paid. Cycle of life, yes? Whatever you say. Speaks in a different language again. What was that? He said he's thankful that you're so understanding. Okay. What did I ever do to these people? So, those are all the same. Hey, old man's up. Small city known before the Armageddon's passion and tradition was over for bandits to steal from Lord Septimus' people. I think this is the same as before. An unusual rumor befuddles residents from neighboring wards as word spreads of a ghost roaming around Shibuya. The pirates of Hachiko. The old man whispered to himself audibly for you to hear. They're coming. The invaders. Warning, warning, warn Lord Septimus. The old man glared at you and raised his voice. The GPA is not the only enemy. We must prepare for invaders. They're coming. From the north, south, east, west. We're surrounded. Gramps, there are no invaders. Please, just go to sleep. You're bothering you. Don't mind me. I'm used to it. At least he's not shoving me away from my bed this time. Thanks for keeping it unoccupied for me. We can thank Gramps for that. His own incoherent ramblings freak out anyone who enters the room. I'm sure. Good for me, then. Optimistically speaking, yes. I hope you can have a good night's sleep even with Gramps around. You don't have to mind me, really. I can sleep in the middle of a battlefield if I have to. Thanks for understanding. That's a repeat. Should I go to sleep? As far as I know, there isn't really anything else I can do, so good night. Let's see if he dreams. They are flying all over me. Their erratic flapping wings buzz in my ears. Insects, large in both size and number. They graze across my skin, but it doesn't hurt at all. If they're biting me, I can't feel anything. I can't move. In my hand, I feel a weightless object. I raise it up to the light, which reflects off its blades and into my eyes, causing me to close them by sheer reflex. When I open my eyes, I find a pair of scissors in my hand. I I can see the scarabs around me prancing in an ominous rhythm. I swing at them with my scissors. They're nimble, untouchable. I flail my arms frantically and attack nothing but air. They retaliate in no painful manner. Like an otherworldly metaphor, they latch onto my mind for no discernible reason. I take a step back. I attempt to run for my life, but my body betrays me. My body refuses to move on my command, choosing instead to revel in the whirlwind of scarabs. Without my approval, my face turns. In front of me is a mirror. But is that reflection mine? I see a stranger whose arms are covered with scabs. The stranger tries to pick at the scabs. It was an exercise in futility. He scratched with all his might, but the scabs kept on growing. What are the scabs trying to hide? Why is the stranger trying to remove the scabs?